shack to shack and shelter to shelter?
Yeah, all of it. I mean, I think we lived in the woods. I think we hung out at Target. I think we were, just
found a super Target.
We found a super Target. we built a backstory of all the things, our adventures, and we got a little map from the gas station, and we were like, okay, we went around here and here and here.
Oh my God, was there, in the super Target, was there some kind of like Sex in the City clothes trying on montage? Shoes.
I tell you, we got to do this Andrea and Michonne and Target special. That sounds really awesome.
A flashback.
A tie-in.
Yeah.
I mean, you always wonder how you can do product placement and walk there you go.
There you go.
Nice.
Michonne, Windex.
They use the pets for the mannequins for the clothes, though, right? No, they didn't put the clothes on themselves. They put them on the pets as mannequins.
We redressed the pets. They got new jeans.
It's just like, I'm Chris Hardwick of The Talking Dead. In the zombie apocalypse, I'd like to be trapped in a super Target. Like, you could totally just see that. Actually, you would. I mean, it would have everything that you would need.
Let's stop plugging Target.
So let's talk a little bit to you guys. I mean, you're like being a couple in the apocalypse it's a risky proposition, and actually, I feel like Glenn's character was scared of that to begin with, of like, I can't be in love. Do you feel? Obviously, he came around.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not?
I know.
Playing Glenn has been really fun because he's such a changing character, and it's real time and due to the circumstances, and when you find Glenn and he balks at the chance to be with Maggie, it comes from a very selfish place, and it comes from a place where I think he's a very headstrong person, and he thinks that he always knows in his gut what's right, and he goes by his gut, but he forgets that he's a kid still, and he's still figuring stuff out as he goes, and then this happens, and it's an amazing thing, and then you're confronted with a whole nother bag
Can of worms.
Poo-poo.
Well, it is. I look at your character and I look at Daryl's character, and I just kind of see that where Daryl's this hard ass, and then he softens up a bit, and then Glenn is what I suspect would be like, guys, this sweet kind of nerdy kid who's just sort of probably loves like Call of Duty and stuff.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, in this moment of trauma and crisis, he becomes like that scene with you where Rooker pushes you in the room and you just have a chair and a box spring. That's a seriously badass cinematic moment in the show.
Thank you. It was for me as an actor. It was a turning point, and for me, for Glenn as a character, it was a turning point. What was cool was that scream wasn't scripted, and it just came out at the end, and we just continued to film it. And it's just cool to see that the writers, producers, the directors, the crew are all there to support you, and you feel completely free. So for me as an actor, I felt like I could do no wrong in that moment, and hopefully it conveyed. But then, as a character for Glenn, he has everything stripped away, and it's down to bare bones survival, and survival not just for him, but to also live for the person that he loves, who is right next door. So what do? You do
Hulk smash.
Hulk smash.
Yeah. I think our stunt coordinator, Russell Towery, I think is here. So
Russell.
Yeah. Oh.
Lauren, some really awful taunting happened. Some almost really awful things happened with the governor.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's really the first. I feel like you've seen him like kill people, but I almost feel like what he did to Maggie was kind of worse, which was to say like, I'm in control of you and I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
So what do you think is what's going on with Maggie at that point?
I think it's just the greatest torture in that point. I think it's interesting because it's something you'd kind of expect that might happen in this world with these kind of characters taking power and taking control. And I think it's just such a warped thing, isn't it? The governor needs to know so badly where this group is. Like he's playing with people that are such a diminished group, and having us in separate rooms to each other and inflicting all this torture. And I think that at that moment, as well as we see at the end of that episode, it's like Maggie and Glenn will both do whatever it takes for at least one of them to survive. And I think even when she comes out, when I come out and reveal the whereabouts of the group, it's like, it's a very dangerous move to say where we are. And even if it is just for saving Glenn, it's like, how would this group survive? It's like, we all need each other. And I think in that moment, she knows that the group is not as strong without us too, even the risk that's taken by telling where they are and everything. But I think Maggie has a pretty tough run the first half of this thing. And it's just been, it's been an extremely emotional first half, and it's been an extremely heart-wrenching to lose people that we have lost, and especially with Sarah and Chandler in that episode. It was really a huge challenge and a hugely, I don't know, I'm so happy to have, I really think, and I know I'm probably biased, but I really feel like a lot of the ways that we're pushing boundaries are so interesting and so surprising to see on television, and the stories that we have. So I'm glad that, as terrifying as it is doing justice to, I think, really what would happen at the end of the world. And it's keeping it real.
Yeah, I've said this a million times, and when I first started watching the show, I would freak people out at parties, like just talking about the show. I'm like, you don't even understand. This is exactly what it would be like if there was a zombie apocalypse. Because it's just it feels so real and dirty, and like because really we think about the show, it's not really the zombie, it's not the walkers that you have to be afraid of. It's other human beings, because they will kind of like make zombie head aquariums and do horrible things to you. And, I feel like I'm coming down on you a lot, but it's really,
you better watch.
Go ahead.
But
I know where you are.
But we don't have any sport to watch. That's the truth. We don't have any live sport.
Yeah. That's true. Well, he's got like
ultimate.
zombie Olympics happening.
But it's not, I don't know, but it's also, you're frightened of other people, but you're frightened of yourself. I think your own capabilities in this world are different as well. You're challenged, you get challenged as a person. Who would you choose? Who would you save? Who are your friends? So what this world is challenging you is your own perceptions of your goodness.
Sure. Well,
what would you do? We like to think of ourselves as heroic, but when the chips come down, you might be running the other way, or you might be stepping on your friend to get out of there. You don't know. You don't know those things. That's what this world is asking those questions of these people all the time.
Well, it's interesting that you say a thing about goodness, because it's this environment, and I feel like something that Kirkman's really good at doing is taking characters, and then it's almost like a weird sport for you. It's throwing characters that you think you know into these horrible situations, and then going, what are you going to do? What's going to happen? Because goodness to you, that I'm sure the governor, when he goes and takes all the military weapons, that's a good thing that he's doing,
it's a
right?
very good thing. It's a logical thing. And it's also, it's to do with the fact that it's about survival. What's going to make me survive longest? Why, I think they're all asking those questions. And you can want to have humanity, and you want everyone to live together and be happy. But this world, you've got different values, you've got different things. You want to get through the day.
Right.
You want to be alive at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if that means other people are going to die, you might have to make those choices. And I don't think we have to look too far in our world to see people making those choices right here, right now as well. It is a war zone that these people live in, and that's, those choices are being made out there all the time.
Yeah. Well, we have I have a list of questions that people from various forms of social media, just so we could get some fan questions. And this is from Jacqueline. Hi there. I know it's a long shot, but I just thought I'd try my luck at getting a question on the panel. You win.
Can you read all of them in the voice that you think?
Oh, sure.
They're saying?
Hello, I'm Sexy Jacqueline. I have a question for the panel. First of all, I have a very strange voice. If you now I'm going to take it down. If you could, this is a great question actually. So we'll ask all the performers this. If you could give one of your fellow actors an Emmy for a moment from the first half of season 3, which moment would you choose? Let's start with you, Lori.
Andrew Lincoln, in the courtyard when he knows that his wife is dead.
Yeah.
Hands down. No offense.
No.
Yeah.
Well, all agreed. We all agree.
But that was,
What do you think, Jamie?
It's a really tough question. There's so many great things. It's, I don't know. I really don't know. I really thought, Stephen, when he was, that clip that we saw, I thought that was amazing, because, you know, there's a sense of seeing a man being tortured. We've seen it very many times on films and TV, but he brought something different to that because his character changed in that moment. You see a man formed in that moment through the circumstances, and I thought that was brilliant. But you know, there's so many I could choose from. I mean, it's full of them.
Yeah, and pretty much every character had a major emotional turning point in the first half of the season. You know, whether it be finding comfort in the community or losing, you know, or sort of going down this what we would perceive to be like a supervillain path in a weird sort of way, or going out on your own, or holding a baby, or becoming Rambo. The baby thing is adorable.
Baby thing.
It's adorable. It is adorable.
Look at this guy right here.
I just. Would it be weird if I just had you hold me for the rest of the interview?
You gotta try it.
I'm single. Come here. Little ass kicker. Little ass kicker right here.
Robert Kirkman, what is it like making a zombie television program?
I'm next.
Wait, or him?
No, that was Kirkman said.
Oh, that was Kirkman.
Yeah.
You said come over.
I did that
No,
once.
next for the Reedus lap. I don't want to talk to you.
Get over here.
We did that once. You and I were doing some talk show or something, and
I don't care.
Okay, all right.
We snuggle all the time, this whole group.
Everything you say is law. Let's move over to what is your favorite moment in television in 2012 or 2013. What's your favorite moment on the show that you've seen so far, Denai?
Oh, there's so many. I think you know the scene with the Stephen scene is really powerful. I also love the scene between Maggie and the governor. It